Keith Dalrymple, Chairman of the Northern Chamber of Commerce.
I'm Rob Cowell, Ramsey Commissioner and representative for the board to the Northern Chamber of Commerce.
What benefits does the Northern Chamber of Commerce bring to the businesses in the town?
It provides a forum for all aspects of business life within the north of there, not just Ramsey and the Northern Plain, to discuss the various challenges of businesses, and also is a direct link with the town hall, with the officers and the elected board members.
And Rob, how do the commissioners work with the Northern Chamber of Commerce?
So we facilitate. I think that's probably the best word. I represent the board. I go to the meetings with the Northern Chamber of Commerce. We give advice. We will steer if we can and where we can, and especially at officer level. That's where it really kicks in, and we will help the chamber in whatever they need to achieve.
Are there any cons to this relationship? I know when we spoke earlier, when you came in, that there were some issues that had to be dispelled with the new board, and I just wondered if you could explain what that is and how you work to overcome problems.
Yes, when I became chairman, and I'm relatively newly elected to that office, I was aware that there had been a certain level of antipathy between chamber members and the Board of Commissioners. Not something that benefits either party. And so part of my objective right from day one was to build bridges and establish a good, productive working relationship with all within the town hall.
And would you say that's working out now?
Yeah, I'd like to think it is. We're certainly trying to establish that strong relationship and to move us forward, so we are much more correlated.
Obviously, you represent the board on the Northern Chamber of Commerce. What does that actually mean? What do you actually do with the board? And do you feed back to the commissioners?
Yes, it's as simple as that. So I'll go to the Chamber of Commerce meeting, and then I'll go to the following board meeting and update the board on whatever plans or events or anything that the chamber want to hold, and then we will do our best to get behind that and support it.
So when do you have to find that you two, and obviously your respective fellow members, work the closest together? Is it the upcoming Christmas period? Is it summer? Is it TT week? What kind of things do you find is the busiest?
A wonderful demonstration of precisely that last Friday evening with the switching on of the Northern Lights. This was a joint collaboration between commissioners and the chamber, and I'm delighted to say that it was a huge success. It was very well supported, but more particularly, it's the evidence of the close working relationship, because not only did the commissioners facilitate and enable the road closures, the manning of it, but we brought together probably as many as 10 or a dozen different organisations and groups within the town to assist, voluntarily helping to make sure that it was a success, that it was safe. And I think that couldn't have happened if we didn't have the good relationship, the willingness to work together.
So how does this, for the rest of the Christmas period, obviously you've had the lights switch on, Christmas is super busy for businesses, especially in the town. How does this carry on going forward?
From my viewpoint, it has to carry on going forward. All that we've done is establish that by cooperation and having direct communications, things can be done and be improved. We're conscious that within the Ramsey and the North, we have a whole range of wonderful organisations, of businesses, that, to use the buzz phrase, sustainability is something we talk about all the time. We have to work to sustain those businesses, enterprises and facilities within the town of Ramsey. There's no time to rest. There's lots of work to do, lots of events to organise running through into the new year.
And is that something you share, that viewpoint?
I absolutely do. Momentum is everything, and Keith has been very good at getting the ball rolling, and now it's rolling. We've got to keep pushing it and pushing it harder. I think Friday's demonstration of our community was the biggest success. We had so many different parts of our community come together, and we're all very good at running our own little organisation or our charity or our club, but we're not so good at looking out around. We've put our heads above the parapet, looked out at what's in our community and engaged, and the engagement back has been superb, and that's all been triggered by the start of this new movement within the Northern Chamber of Commerce. And that community aspect was, I think for me, you could feel it. It really was a very important step forward. I'm delighted with it.
Has the Chamber of Commerce, how long has it been established in the North?
It's developed and evolved. It started life as the Ramsey Chamber of Trade. The date of that escapes me, but I would say we're approaching our 25th year of existence.
Yeah.
Ramsey Chamber of Trade became Ramsey Chamber of Commerce, and now we've annexed the Northern Plain. We are the Northern Chamber of Commerce. I have to say that I neglected the Chamber for a few years, inadvertently attended an AGM and came away as chairman.
Yeah, I mean, it's been going a long time. It's probably 25, 30 years. It was a beacon of how a Chamber of Commerce should be run and how a trade association works. And over time and through no fault of anyone, it just got to a point where it had ran its natural course with the 4 or 5 people who'd been behind it for 25, 30 years. And that just happens to get to a point where everyone's like, we can't do this anymore. And then it got picked up and here we are and we're carrying on and we're trying to put that momentum behind it and using our community to do so.
I'd like to say that we have just about everything that one could need in the north of the island. In the retail community, we've butchers, bakers. I don't know that we have a candlestick maker, but there are plenty of shops selling Manx-made candles if you wish them. My message to people in Ramsey in the north is to say, please look at what we have. We have an amazing range of amenities and facilities. Support them, use them, and that way we will sustain them into the future.
For me, the point I'd like to add is that to join the Chamber of Commerce in the north is a very small amount of money, I think £25, and it gives the individual business some security in that there are people out there fighting their cause, and especially for one-man bands who are so busy working, they don't actually get to see the wider picture sometimes, and it's very important that there are organisations out there that are supporting them, and we are there to help them.
One of the major thrusts of what we're doing is not waiting for somebody to wave a magic wand, not waiting for big government to wave a magic wand. We want politicians at all levels to fulfil their roles as facilitators and enablers so that we can do what we need to do within the sector. There's no point in waiting for somebody to do it. We are doing it for ourselves.
Another point to add, MHK Tim Glover talked about the lack of a traders union in Castletown only very recently with the closure of Barclays Bank, and he talked about how it's so important to have one trader's voice, and it's much more powerful than 10, 20 different voices all saying different things. So the Northern Chamber of Commerce's one of the goals is to have that singular voice that we can angle to the politicians if we need to.
How do the commissioners support the businesses in the town and then sort of vice versa?
The Traders Association that ran for some time but disbanded about a decade ago. So in recent years, the commissioners have asked the businesses if they would like to form a business association in the village, but a more informal approach using a social media hub was felt more beneficial. So as a consequence, the Laxey Business Network was set up, and this is used for announcements and communication between businesses. We've also had some support from Business IOM, who are based in the commissioners' offices once or twice a month and are there to support local businesses. The commissioners are working with an officer from Business IOM who will have a presence in the commissioners' offices in Laxey for 1 or 2 days a month, and their aim is to build a close relationship with businesses in the village, so government can tailor support packages and targeted assistance which may be required.
So would it be beneficial if there was like a physical, like not a physical, but like a physical thing, or do you feel like that works for everybody?
Commissioners would support it if they wanted to make a formal associations. The commissioners would always support and do what they could to help alongside Business IOM.
So it feels like it's a bit of a balancing act between monitoring the Facebook and the business drop-ins and all of that kind of thing for you guys.
Yeah, I think so. And I think business well. And when you stop and look at the number of businesses based in Laxey and in fact Garff, there's a huge array of different businesses, from cafes to shops to various different businesses. It was quite surprising when you actually sit down and look at the variety. And the commissioners certainly want to do as much as we can to support a vibrant area that we have with these great businesses and the heritage that we have in the village.
What do the businesses do to support you guys, the commissioners? Because obviously you guys run some events, you have the fairs and stuff like that. Do they support you guys with the stuff that you do?
Absolutely. We're very lucky. We have a lot of supports from our local businesses. Just off the top of my head, just thinking, we've had support from our events such as the Brass Band Festival. We had the very successful duck race earlier on this year, the Laxey Fair, which we're in the process of regenerating to get that back on the agenda for next year. Also, our recent firework display at the village washing floors was supported by local businesses. Certainly, it's been a very difficult time the last few years for businesses, and the ones we have shown great resilience. And we want to carry on making it Laxey an attractive place to shop and to visit on the island.
Thank you for making it to the end of the Little Manx Radio newscast. You are obviously someone with exquisite taste. May I politely suggest you might want to subscribe to this and a wide range of Manx Radio podcasts at your favourite podcast provider, so our best bits will magically appear on your smartphone. Thank you.